media accounts, The Calada, TheKalada 4 Nigeria Info PH. Just at Nigerian Petrol page, and you'll see us live there. All right, so my conversation now is captioned the Nigerian Petrol situation. As you may already have known, in Abuja and in Lagos, reports have it that there are long queues at several filling stations because there is scarcity. In River State, my source tells me that there is a slight increment or slight increase in the pump price of petrol. Interesting. Now, NMPCL is saying that it is due to logistics and flooding issues, right? The marketers are saying, NNPCL has not been able to supply, so they are not getting from private depot, and that is why it is slightly expensive, or the price has gone up a little bit. So what really are the problems? We need to investigate. And remember, the last time there was a slight increase, we were told due to logistics. So is this now the indirect way of increasing the prices? I would like to know. But joining me on the show this afternoon is the National President of PETROAN, the Petroleum Products Retail Outlet Owners Association. I'm talking about Billy Gillis-Harry. Welcome, sir. Can you hear me?
Thank you so very much, Nigerian Info. Thank you for having me.
All right. So now you must have heard my introduction. There is the petrol situation in the country. What really is the problem? Because I was reading some newspaper reports that quoted you as saying that marketers are buying from private depots, and that's why the price is up the way it is. So can you please tell us why, or who are we to blame, or what is to blame for the current increase?
Yeah, we cannot blame any particular person at this time. It's a situation that has happened from what NNPC has described as the vagaries of weather and the logistic challenges from ship to ship transporting, and of course also on the land there are flooding issues that have come up. Now I'm in Abuja right now. I'm completely unable to say what the reality is, but NNPC would have given us information as they have been able to get, on hand and eyewitness reports. When I gave that interview, it's still the same. I didn't say because we're taking product from private depots, that's why our prices increase. The reality is that if there is a glitch in supply, it will affect the entire system. Okay. So whether it was the vagaries of weather or it was logistics challenges, it will affect the supply system. And that's the only time this type of experience of having issues can come up. But here's my further clarification. Logistic challenges are happening mostly because the price of how to run a tanker from one location to the other keep changing.
Okay.
So of course, the products will not be landed in any particular outlet, and then the prices will be the same. So that is about that. But the logistics is not the reason why there's going to be, changes in prices. It's just something that comes, without any plan. And you'll agree with me that if my members buy product and land it in their filling station, say at 690,000, they cannot sell at 640. That will already throw the business out of the window. So they have to at least make sure that there's a little margin of profit to be able to pay cost of money and be able to be in business.
Okay.
So that's the reality. If the supply challenge is being combated as NNPC is doing now, in a short while, the queues will evaporate.
But will the price come down? Because, like you said, if you buy for 690, you would not sell for 640. So when these logistic issues or logistics are handled, would it also impact the price of petrol at the various filling stations?
Of course, it will impact. And that's why we are also talking to the tanker drivers union. The NUPENG is also working with us to ensure that every part of this business has a human face. so that we do not spend so much money in delivering our products to our various retail outlets across the country. And I give you the word that the NUPEN president, Mr. Comrade Williams, and his team are really working hard to ensure that prices, do not skyrocket to create more problems for Nigerians. And we are on that. We in fact, for PETRON, we have a clear mantra that tells us to work according to what is in the market. And we are doing it because we follow the law, we follow the specifications, we follow what NMDPRO gives to us to do, and we also follow through with whatever NMPC gives to us to do. So certainly, if the prices for us to land product in our retail outlets are now curtailed and there is an efficiency in that pricing, it will also impact on the pricing. Because nobody wants to have product in their retail outlets and cannot sell them. You must sell them, and they only sell it to Nigerians who have the buying power to be able to do so.
Okay, so my next question is still on the price. I remember the last time there was an increment from over 600 naira per litre to now over 700 naira per litre. We were told logistics was the problem, and now you've broken it down for us. We understand, but however, the price has not gone back to what it was before that increase. We have been told there is no official increase to pump price. However, here in River State, for instance, before this current crisis, people were buying petrol for over 700 naira per litre. So the question is, with this current increase, are we sure, very sure, that there will be a reversal of the pump price once all of this, is sorted?
Yeah, PETROAN has very strict rules. We have a compliance team that is operating our 3P solution, the Petroleum Product Passport solution, and it's very efficient for us, for our members. We're able to keep track of what we're doing and keep obeying what the rules say. So what I can say, you cannot vouch for 100% of everybody, because even the monkey that's carrying a baby on the back says they can't vouch if the monkey took a banana when he's not looking. So
I think we have a network issue there. All right. We'll try to reconnect with our guest, the national president of PETROAN, Gillis-Harry. We're looking at the petrol situation. By the way, he's in Abuja and is supposed to have a meeting with the NNPCL, and hopefully we'll get another reply as it relates to, or we'll get a new response as it relates to the problems bedeviling the petroleum sector. So yeah, it's back on the line. I hope he can hear me. Hello, can you hear me? All right. Still network issues.
Hello.
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me now? Good afternoon to you once again.
Basically, what we're saying is that our 3P solution helps us to maintain our compliance levels, and we're trying to make sure that this is completely, corroborating what the NMDPR is doing. So what I can assure you going forward is every situation for us in PETROAN gives us opportunity to improve our services. So we can guarantee, at least a greater portion of the Nigerian public that once these logistic issues are settled, we'll be talking about a few different things that will also help us in putting solution on the ground.
All right. So something comes to mind. Are we still paying for subsidy? Could subsidy be one of the logistic issues? I'm asking because it was reported this morning that the NNPCL is looking at taking a $2 billion loan, mortgaging about between 30,000 barrels per day to 35,000 barrels per day, as a means to repay back the loan. Remember last year as well, they had collected a $3.3 billion in this same format, and we began to hear, we cannot supply crude oil to local refineries because we have mortgaged crude oil, through this channel. So are we paying subsidy? Is this a hint, or is this a hint to the fact that we're paying subsidy?
Well, we are a very patriotic public service organization geared towards ensuring efficiency in petroleum product delivery and also ancillary services. We do not know the internal workings of NNPC.
Okay.
We do not have, the only interface we have with them is that they are our senior partners, and when they have petroleum product that's available from their importation scheme, that we are the ones who take from them and expand their services. So if they are going to take a loan of any description, it will be the internal financial matters that will be difficult for me to interpret in any way
Okay.
unless I'm on the table discussing with them. But for us as an organization, we want to advise that any kind of loan that is being embarked on, that's going to be taken by Nigeria or any agency or company that's going to be for the benefit of Nigeria should always check the values it brings on Nigerians today and Nigerians in the future. As we can't mortgage the future of our children, we must make sure that this country is growing and has value for our children yet unborn. So let's not be just going to take money for the sake of taking money. We must take the money for values that must grow our economy, look after our human capital development, and ensure that our future is protected, not mortgaged.
All right. I asked that question because you must have heard Dangote on several occasions complain about the cabal making it difficult, for local refineries in the country. Talking about refineries, the last time you and I spoke sometime in January, we talked about the Port Harcourt refinery and how it will come on stream and how it will help cushion the or help the sector basically. Well, this is July, the 10th of July, and we're still yet to see the refinery work. What do you think, yet again, as a stakeholder in the petroleum sector, what do you think are the issues?
Well, I visited the refinery myself, evaluated things from a perspective and the prism of practicing professional in the business, and also with the help of some technically qualified members of PETROAN and the management of the refinery. And we were very certain from what we saw that the refinery was ready and ready for production. But whatever that has delayed it is something that me, in my capacity as national president of PETROAN, cannot say to fault or to give value. But what we'll advise is that let every part of the country's responsible for these refineries to come up, put on their best show, best act, and do the patriotic thing to ensure that our refineries are up and running. So other than that, I cannot in any way say whether these refineries will come up on stage to start producing for our use tomorrow or the day after. But I think that what I will also advise is that right now, let the authorities and the management of NNPC and Port Harcourt refinery put their acts together and surprise Nigerians by rolling out at least 100 trucks of PMS, AGO, DPK, and the rest of them. So that will make the noise instead of certain dates for resumption of refining that we are not saying. So that's what I will advise us as a country.
All right, thank you very much for your time. I should let you go. I do understand you have a meeting, a very important meeting, but thank you for your time here, Billy Gillis-Harry, National President, PETROAN.
Thank you.
All right. I'll go for a quick commercial break. When we come back, I'd like to get your thoughts. We've been told logistic issues is the reason for, the petrol situation in the country. It's not certain, as a stakeholder in that sector, is not certain when the refineries will work, but he's advising the NNPCL to put his acts or put the acts together, right? So just stay tuned. When we do come back, we'll talk some more. 92.3 Nigerian Info. I'm yours truly, Kaladaka Rubatpo. Welcome back. So yeah, we're looking at the petrol situation in the country. I've been able to, get some pieces of information from the national president of PETROAN. But it's time for you and I to talk, and I really want to know, how is the current situation affecting you? We are in a situation where we are dealing with inflation. Inflation generally, it has affected the power sector. It has affected the household sector. It has affected health in the country, even education. So this further increase in petrol price will further affect inflation adversely, and I am just wondering how it is affecting you personally. But then again, what do you make of it? Do you believe that there will be a reduction in the price once this logistic issue is sorted? Or do you think, like some people would say on the streets, that whatever goes up never comes down in Nigeria? It always defies the law of gravity. So I want to get your thoughts. I want to talk with you. What is your opinion? Remember, you can send me messages on WhatsApp and on Facebook where we're live, 0809 030 6416. That's the WhatsApp number. And you can call me via the phone lines, the GSM numbers, 0817 923 0002, 0817 923 0003, and 0817 923 0007. Those are the call numbers. You can use any one of them and call in, and let's get your thoughts. We're talking the petrol situation. You listen to my guest. What are your thoughts? I like to hear from you. All right. Okay, I'm waiting for the call screener to get the call screened, and after that, you and I will get to talk for development. Okay, so I've got Godson, and Godson is calling me from somewhere in Port Harcourt. Godson, welcome. What is on your mind? I'd like to hear from you.
Good morning.
All of the above. Good afternoon, it is. Welcome.
All right. You see, this petroleum is the only thing I discover is the way the prices of the market have been going up. But even though this refinery, they put it in order, I don't think big things will come back, because people are enjoying the state. Whenever something gets skyrocketed, the people inflation is. I think that's what the last time. You see this fear. What if they are talking that they will build the refinery, they will finish it? What if they didn't finish it? We keep on talking. I don't know what we are going to do. Are we going to protest? You see that they are not. Mr. President cannot come and address the people. Tell us, look at the problem of this, look at the problem, so that we will be notified. Than from somebody specific here, we will do. And people are expecting. The expectation has been very high, and everything has been dashed. I say people, no matter how we complain, you think that this December it must come, this December it must come. What if you didn't come? We can't see you anything. You can shout at the end of it, nothing. Please, these people should help us. We are speaking with the President on easy life the head that we have to crown. I know it is not easy, but let me do something so that people will be satisfied.
All right. Thank you very much, Godson. This one's from Asitoko A, saying, greetings, KDB. The earlier Nigerians understand that Nigeria is a farm, the more peace they will have. My advice, wait for your turn and farm like others are doing now. Peter is calling me from Port Harcourt. Peter, welcome. What is on your mind? I'd like to hear from you.
Thank you. Concerning the fuel issue, I think in the country we like saying a lot of things, we like speaking English. Well, what's this logistics problem? Can they unbundle it? Why the refinery is not working? Is it rocket science to make fuel available to people on the streets? Why are they having meetings over meetings? They should simply produce and supply. All these gram every day, today is logistics problem. What's this logistics problem?
They say ship to ship loading. It's going to be difficult. They also said, truck drivers would have to buy diesel, and the price of diesel keeps changing every day. So it's difficult for them. Are
they saying that the fuel must be subsidized for it to be available?
They're saying they would have to increase the prices, I believe. They didn't say it directly, but that's what I understand. I mean, because he gave the example of buying at $6.90, you wouldn't sell for $6.40.
The whole thing is quite unclear because, if that's the case, so what's keeping us from producing? Why are the refineries locked down? We spent a lot of money on Petroleum refinery. They're giving us days after days. So why is it not producing? That is saying no crude oil to refine. What's the reason for Petroleum refinery not to refine? So these things seem as if there is an underground conspiracy going on. Meanwhile, people are suffering.
All right. Thank you, Peter. I've got Obed from Other Judge. Obed, welcome. What is on your mind? I'd like to hear from you.
Yes, Canada. Good afternoon once again.
Yeah, let's get your thoughts, please.
Canada, I think the honorable thing to do as a responsible government, you shouldn't have allowed your citizens to suffer more, considering the suffering they are going through. I tell you, because if you look at what the people are going through right now,
okay,
you don't expect a responsible government to still allow this kind of thing to happen. You understand? Right now, some of the filling stations, they are closing down right now, and you know how Nigerian things are.
In what areas, Obed? In what area or areas are you seeing the filling stations close down?
Can you hear me, Galada?
I can hear you loud and clear. I'm asking, in what area or areas are you seeing the filling stations close down?
I'm talking about George Road.
Oh, okay.
Some of the stations there, they are closing down right now because of the these same issues. Canada, what does it take for Nigeria to have a world refinery? Does it require nuclear physics? And we know the importance of this very commodity called petrol. Whenever petrol is tampered with, every other thing goes up. And a responsible government should be thinking in that very area. How do we be able to help their citizens to undergo this very hardship? How do you tell me that at this very point in time, Nigeria has to undergo another scarcity of petrol, whereby these marketers who use any little opportunity to be able to make money, they will increase the price and all that.
All right.
So I think the government, they are not doing enough. This is clueless, I tell you.
All right,
I ordinarily think that this one would have come up with measures to be able to cushion the effect of this subsidy remover by giving Nigeria a working refinery. Till now, nothing is being done. And all the senators, all we have heard is appropriation to buy a jet, appropriation to buy jeep, appropriating without recourse to the effect of what the citizens are suffering. So unfortunate.
All right, thank you, Obed. Obed, thank you for your thoughts. Muriel from Okrika, welcome.
Hi, KDB, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, Muriel. Let's get your thoughts.
Thank you. This is the Okrika woman.
Okay.
KDB, the NPP, in conjunction with the federal government, is telling me that because of technical issues. In other words, they are telling me that they don't have the technical know-how to fix those issues. Or they are telling me that Nigeria, we are financially capable of solving those or fixing those technical issues. Are they telling us indirectly that Nigeria is broke? They can't fix this. Do they even need to come and tell us that they are having is because of technical issues? Do they need to tell KDB? Is there no resources? We don't have money to fix it. Can they not just go ahead and fix it? KDB, there's more to this than meets the eyes, honestly. There's something they need to tell us. They are telling us that Nigeria is broke. They cannot fix these technical issues. And solve this one single problem that the whole nation is yearning for. All Nigerians are yearning for. They can't fix it. They are trying to give us complaints, excuses. So if they can't let them move, let people that know how the technical know how to fix it, who saying that the worst of us leads the best of us. This is so frustrating. In other words, there's no hope yet.
All right. Thank you, Muriel. All right, thank you for your time. I've got to go. But let's take this one. This one says our leaders like to speak big grammar. Please, grammar cannot solve our problem in this country. Please, why did we vote these people into power? Oyenu Chia Stephen with that one. This one says, please, can you explain how sellers in Port Harcourt and other southern states attribute high cost of foods and other items to the cost of transportation? Yet we hear the foods are equally expensive in the north. How? Please explain. This doesn't add up. Regular IC. Now, in the north, there is the issue of insecurity. In the south, some of these products are being transported from the northern part and even from the rural areas in the southern part where these food items are being transported. They would need petrol for the vehicles to transport these items, right? Then, of course, there are the tithes and offerings being paid on the road, if you know what I mean, right? So all of those things contribute to the and petrol, of course, is one major factor. John is calling from GRA. John, welcome. What is on your mind? I like to hear.
Yeah,
good afternoon, John. Yeah, welcome.
My thought is this. We keep talking and keep calling it so people keep agitating and talking about this, well, the food stuff and the rest of them. But all this has not really resulted into anything. Over to tell the market. I think it's high time Nigeria take the country in their destiny in their own hands and react.
With their own hands, what do you mean? Because on the show we don't preach violence.
By reacting. Yes, by reacting.
Reacting in what way?
Look at Kenya.
Okay. Okay.
When the government started off what is not pleasing to them, they reacted and then they stood their ground.
But then it got John. We're having a conversation. It got violent in Kenya. We saw them attack Parliament or the Parliament.
But yes, a lot of things have gone so wrong. So many people are confused. The judiciary, so we need to react. Something is already trending.
Okay.
This month 29, Nigerians will come out. We should come out in masses and make protest. Not that we're going to be a reaction, but we should demand accountability.
Okay, then.
We should that adult, old, young, male, school, children, everybody should hit the road. Hit the road and let the country be at a standstill. We keep calling. These people are not responding. They're not reaching the. We should react. The youth should come out.
All right. Protest is your right, but please don't be violent. Violence is not an answer. John from Jared, thank you. He's saying, hey, protest may just solve the problem, but hey, we don't call and preach for violence here or anywhere. Clinton from Bori, welcome on the show.
Yeah, Claudia, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon to you.
Yeah, I believe that government is about the people. There's no government without the people.
Okay.
And if the people are suffering, that means government is failing. I also believe in Mr. President, and that was why I campaigned for him. That was why I voted for him. I think the problem we are facing in this country is not rocket science. And I also know that the president's most subsidy was the right thing to do. But again, fixing our refineries, why is it not been fixed up till now? Is it too difficult? How long did it take Dangote to fix his own refinery, to build a new refinery altogether from scratch? Millions of naira have been spent on the Port Harcourt refinery for about 1 year plus now. We've been getting dates. Why is it that the refinery has not been fixed? These are questions we want answers for. Unless there's something they're not telling us. Because we don't know that the prices of things in the market today hovers around the price of petroleum products, cooking gas, PMS. If Nigeria can get this product at a more subsidized rate, knowing that with the raw material, the crude is taken from Nigerian soil. So our refinery must be fixed, should be fixed. The president should know this and help us, because Nigerians are suffering. I'm a member of the APC. Does it mean I'm not going to the same market? I buy things from the market. So please, let us fix the economy for us. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much, Clinton. My goodness. But then I'm also looking at it from this angle. You know, I did actually see the report of hoarding. Remember, I threw that question at my guest, and I said, we hear it is because it is being bought from private depots. That's why we're seeing we're seeing the scarcity that we currently experience in parts of the country. Now, could it be? And like I tried to investigate while my guest was on the show. Could it also be, you know, that this is a systematic way of increasing pump prices? I'm just wondering, and I'm thinking out loud. But I've got Emeka who's calling from MOI. Emeka, welcome. What is on your mind? I like to hear.
Yes, my name is Emeka.
I already mentioned. Emeka, welcome.
Calling from MOI local government.
Okay, straight to the point. Your thoughts?
Yes, I want to add voice. That I used to hear technical fault every time from that NMPC, from refinery. Is it that they are using the head of the Nigerians? Every time they come up with different story, with the big grammar, technical fault every day. If they are not ready to feed the refinery, they should bring back the subsidy. We are tired of this big promise, especially when the man when we are swearing in on May 29. He just removed subsidy without any arrangement.
But you know technicalities. Since we're talking about technicalities, Emeka,
they should find a way to feed that refinery well.
Okay. All right.
Thank you, my brother.
Thank you very much. Emeka, but if you can hear me, since we're talking about technicalities, technically, it wasn't Tinubu who removed subsidy, you know, but he just made that statement. And that statement, some would argue, affected how some investors or some economic players saw the economy and how, you know, they went about their activities as it relates to the economy. And that's why, you know, there was that decline, that, you know what I'm talking about, right? I've got Judge from Port Harcourt. Judge, welcome. What is on your mind? I'd like to hear from you.
Mr. Canada, good day.
Yeah, welcome.
You know, one thing I want to talk about is about when people call on radio station and they tell you what they are passing through. You people think maybe they are lying, or you don't take the word serious.
How do you mean by that? Please tell me.
My brother, very soon, let me tell you something. Very soon in this Nigeria, what you people are going to see very soon, because if you know what people are passing through, to the extent that when you go to something in the market, you use 30,000 that I can't buy anything. And nobody's talking about it. When you talk, they say, when you talk what you're seeing about the politician, you say, they should not talk about it. How did you talk about it? My brother, people are suffering. No? People are passing through stress. This is going out of hand. This is that we are talking about every day, calling on radio, is going out of hand. But very soon, you people can't even understand what we are talking about.
All right,
that's what I have to tell you.
I hope you're not referring to violence, because like I would always sing, and I would continue to sing, violence is never a solution to any problem. Well, like we would always say, peace is the path to the prosperity of a nation. Let peace reign. This one says, why does the government? I'm trying to understand the sentence now. Why is this government happy to see the people in the country being hungry and dying and still keeping their ears blocked? Time has come for us to say no to this mess. Okay, from Rumokuta. This one says, until Nigerians wake up and chase these people who have refused to fix and allow refineries in Nigeria to work, we will keep crying. It's all deliberate and devilish. Adaya in Port Harcourt. But I mean, I'm wondering if it's deliberate. They've said technical issues, and in a short time between now and December, the refineries would start working. This one says, I think your guest was being economical with the truth on the. I don't get this part. On the okay, you say greed. On the greed of some of his members. If not, what is the justification on the same pump price of the PMS product for a station in Port Harcourt City and a station at Uyo. Thanks from Granville, Iboroma, Port Harcourt. All right, keep those calls coming in. Let's see, do I still have messages? I'm going to go back to the phone lines, take a few calls, go for a commercial break, and we'll wrap the conversation up. All right, let's take this one, 92.3 Nigerian Info.
Okay, Canada.
Yeah, greeting. Can you name your location?
My name is Charles from Uniport.
Charles from Uniport, let's get your contribution.
Does the repair of the refineries have the magic wand? Can it solve the problem that we are in today? When the government have always said that even if we start producing petrol in Nigeria, the only thing that will up the price is the transportation and the haulage. Apart from that, everything is going to be according to the international market.
But it can be according to the. Sorry, Charles. Charles, let's have an argument. Charles. Oh my! I think it's noisy from your end. But Charles, if you can hear me, and really, I would like to have an argument with you. It can be at the international price. What is at the international price is the sale of crude oil. So it's agreed internationally. It's sold in the dollar. However, I do know, except I'm wrong now, I do know that there is the local reserve for refineries. For instance, the NNPCL was to give Dangote's refinery crude oil at a subsidized price. Yeah, so it happens like that. And there was also the report that petrol from Dangote's refinery would be sold in the naira, even though it's at the free trade zone. So you want to look at all of these things and you want to say, oh, okay, fine. There is that local reserve. If not, why was petrol cheaper when the refineries were working, in the 90s, in the early 2000s? Why was petrol cheaper? So think about it from that angle. And of course, if you're saying haulage, it's not going to be as expensive, because if the refineries are working, and I think all of them together has got about is it 500 or 600,000 barrels per day capacity. I would have to go back to my notes and check it, because I think Port Harcourt's old and new is about 200, if I remember vividly. Basically, what I'm saying is all of it together would be around that 500,000 barrels per day capacity. And if that is the case, it will be able to meet the needs of Nigerians. Or better still, we can build new refineries, right? But I wonder what the policy direction of the government is as we talk petrol situation in the country. And if you've noticed, this year alone, we've had about 3 petrol pump price increments. So is there a systematic way? The NNPCL will come out and say, oh, we're not increasing petrol. There's always that statement being put out, we're not increasing petrol. Marketers will say, oh, we're not increasing petrol. Or marketers will say, oh, petrol is too expensive. And the next thing you're seeing, there is an increase. Your total like to hear from me. This one says, please tell them we don't need the refinery again, since it is not political. Anything political in Nigeria can't work. Bring back subsidy. Comrade Oluwa Miracle from Rupoko. He doesn't want the refinery again. Do you agree? Do you think that's the solution? The short-term solution? But let's go back to the phone lines. 92.3 Nigerian Info.
Okay, I don't know why the phone went by my initial call.
Oh, yeah, it wasn't clear, so I had to end the call.
Okay, can you hear me clearly now?
I guess this is Charles from Uniport, yeah?
Yes, Charles from Uniport.
Okay, I can hear you clearly now.
So let's not excuse the government from that statement. When you say Tinubu did not remove subsidy, I want to give you certain information. Before the end of the Buhari era, during the joint transition committee, there was a policy that was introduced by the Buhari administration that subsidy should be extended till December. That's 2023.
Okay.
To enable Tinubu to come into office and understand the system before you now remove the subsidy. the Tinubu team, I listened to that on channel. Tinubu's team vehemently refused to extend subsidy by another 6 months. Hence that statement. And let me give us another information from research. The pump price for petrol obeys the dollar because we currently import petrol. And it's plus or minus between 150 to 250 naira differentials from the dollar. So when you remove subsidy abruptly like that, you trigger inflation. And when you trigger inflation, the naira loses its value. Then it compounds on the price of the petroleum products. Hence, you're saying this. So we cannot excuse the government.
No, nobody said we should excuse the government.
Direction.
All right, I've got to go. Charles, thank you. But nobody said we should excuse the government. All I've argued is technically Tinubu did not remove. Yes, he could have extended, but he did not remove because there was no space for it in the budget. A commercial break. When we come back, we'll talk some more. Just stay tuned.
The show continues after this break. Nigeria